What's going on, guys? I wanted to do a video today on Subnautica Below Zero, just do like a state of the game, where we're at right now. So I'm actually recording this in June, and it looks like the most recent update was in April. And they actually did quite a big update in April, basically changing the whole introduction of the game, the storyline. I feel like the developers or the writers might have actually hit a brick wall and wanted to try to get some fresh ideas. So it actually, now it ties in a lot better to the ending of the first game. So if you guys remember the ending of the first game, you take off on a rocket and you are flying over the planet, and you look over to your left and there's like an ice zone that your person looks at right before you go into hyperdrive and shoot off. So in this one, what's happening is you're starting on a little space station, and you're taking off and you're flying towards that ice spot that your person was originally looking at. So that actually happens when you go into survival or freedom or hardcore. But I actually wanted to look at some of the new items, and so I wanted to just jump into it and see the items very quickly. So I'm going to do a creative game. And the loading time is a little bit better than it was in the first game, but I mean, it's still not great. So the way the story was originally for Below Zero was you would wake up on a bed, you'd be inside of a facility on the planet already, on the surface, and you would go into a cave and you would walk up to this arch, and the archway would talk to you. You would exit the cave, a storm would happen, and your base would get destroyed. That, again, is not the case anymore. So there is just complete rewrites of the whole thing, which I'm actually good with. I personally didn't really care for the story now. They also got a new voice actor for the person you play. That also feels a little bit better. They went with a more mature voice, which I appreciate. I feel like someone who's a scientist on a random planet, it's going to be someone who's a little bit older, you know? Someone who's been in the field for a while. Just made more sense to me. So, it is foggy. Let's see if I can find... There it is. So this is actually where you crash land if you are playing the story. And you run down here. You have these cool little trees that watch you. Dang, it's foggy. Just trying to get to the water here. Okay, so you run out of there, and you come down to this water, and jump in it, and hey, it's Subnautica style again. So you are underwater looking for resources. You can build stuff. Normally a life pod comes down, and you can go set up in the life pod and get a base going and whatnot. In this, however, it's just creative, so it's not here. But I do like the very first thing they did was they fixed this. So this vehicle, you remember you'd have to right click, and sometimes you'd right click it a bunch of times and the map wouldn't go away. Or at least that was my experience. Now you just hit F to make the map go away, which is just so much better in my opinion. I just got so annoyed when I would be in like a tight cave and trying to look around and the map was just right there in your face. It was like, I can't get this to turn off. What's going on here? So let's check out some of the new buildings. So we have a lot of the buildings from the first game are still here. But you have a new one here. There's a control room. Control room is pretty cool. I'm going to set one up so you guys can see it, but it's basically you control different parts of a facility that you make preemptively. So you can turn the power on and off in certain areas. So if you're low on power, no worries. Large room is really cool. It's just a massive open room, and you can build like side walls and stuff in it. It's pretty nice, these large room walls here. And let's build something, huh? Maybe first let's go down here. Nah, never mind. Alright, so let's build a multi-purpose room here. Okay. I think I'm going to build another one on top of it. And then we'll do one. Oops, that's not where I wanted that. Let's do one. Connect. Come on. There we go. Normally you'd build the walkway between it first, but you know, whatever. Okay. That would be why you normally do that. Look at that. So that's one thing that's a little interesting. You can't actually build these on each corner still. It's basically like a four-way access, so you can build it on like there, and there, but you can't put it on diagonal spots still. I'm hoping they fix that because I don't know, I'd like to be able to use the side rooms or the side exits as well, you know. And I'm doing this wrong, so let's build that. And we'll do one there. Okay, so the first thing we need is a moon pool, which is still not rotational. I'm not sure why they haven't made it rotational, but I'm sure they have their reasons. The large room, however, again, is very large, and that is rotational, so that's nice. And one of the things I really like now is they have glass domes for all these buildings. And it's, I don't know, it's a nice little touch. It serves no purpose aside from aesthetic. You can build still build like power stations and stuff inside it, all that stuff. Just basically,
welcome aboard, Captain.
They have the same voices. Since you are still with Altera in this game, it makes perfect sense that they would use the same one, because you are essentially just using the same technology. So we're gonna do actually that one. I'm gonna put Fabricator here. And sure, well, why not? I don't know if this radio does anything right now. We'll put one there. So they have jukeboxes now in the game, which is pretty cool. So I think the game only has one song in it right now. But if you turn the jukebox on, you have little speakers around your base. It will play the music throughout the whole thing. Of course, the downfall to that is if you want to turn the music off, you have to come all the way back to the jukebox. So if your base is quite large, it could be a little bit of a pain. All these spots are bad. Okay, that works. So, just so you guys can get the sound of it, we'll put a reactor rod in the power. Obviously you don't need it because it's creative, but why not? Oops. Alright, let's power it up. Let's turn on some music. Just let that play. You can hear it's getting quieter. So if you wander off, obviously the music's gonna get quieter. And then if you, that's a good test to like see where to put speakers. And there you go. So if you like music in your game, that's not just the game music, I should say. Another cool thing about the jukebox is you can actually put your own music in it. So obviously you need to go out of the game, go to the file where the jukebox is, and you can put songs in there. I'm not going to do that because it's a recorded video and I don't have the rights to any of the music I want to play. So you saw the vehicle upgrade stations. So you can still build the modules. That obviously should have an icon, but it doesn't yet. But the game's in beta, what do you expect? That's actually the next thing I want to talk about. So let's look at some of the vehicles here. Right here. Bring that up. Alright, so the big new vehicle in the game is called a sea truck. And the sea truck is... it's kind of like the sea moth in the way that it works. Except, well, I would say it's more like a Cyclops, actually, sorry. That being because when you build a sea truck, it's basically just one tiny little vehicle that does nothing. However, you can make modules for it. So you can put different types of like modules so it can become basically an RV, like an all-purpose thing. I don't really know how to describe it, but let's see here once this comes down. Okay, can you still pilot these from the roof? Nope, it just connected. Perfect. Okay, so the idea is you come in here and you can make essentially a mobile base. And so this first attachment I did the aquarium. So if there were fish around here, which there we go. Little Arctic peeper. And you, and come here. Oh my gosh. I can grab a fish. There we go. So if you're playing on survival mode, the aquarium's perfect because you can just store your food in your truck. And they have little cool things that you can make. Like I'm gonna make a, I think a kitchen module next. Let's check that out. Ooh, that's kind of broken, that animation. Will be fixed in time. Alright. Let's see what modules we can make. So what do we have? We have storage, docking, fabricator, sleeper, teleportation. Interesting. Alright, let's do the fabricator. So you'll notice in the vehicles, once this is done, I'll show you. Just like flapping around here in the water, I keep hearing. Oh, the penguins. So you'll notice the Seamoth and the Cyclops are both gone. And I'm a little bummed about that. I actually really like the design of both of those vehicles. The Cyclops was just like such a cool submarine. It's just, it had so much space. You could do like a bunch of different things with it. One cool thing about this is it has a backup camera, which is broken right now because you can see through the water and everything. You can actually turn the water off yourself. I'll show you how to do that here in a minute, if I can get this to connect. There we go. Okay. So we connected another module. So now we have a fabrication room. And I think you can add stuff to these rooms. What's a logical thing to put in this room? No, you can't. Okay. Can I put a stove? No. So I guess that means that I couldn't actually eat in here because I would assume you would use the stove. Oh, you would use this. Duh. So there's a bunch of new upgrades and everything you can do for the sea truck. A lot of them are very similar to the first game. So we'll do a depth module even though it won't break because I'm a creative. Thruster upgrades, I can get around a little faster. Afterburner. And sure, permanent defense. Alright. So module spot. Game's spazzing out there a little bit. So one thing that I guess it does move pretty well. Initially, when you first started adding modules to this thing, I guess before this update, this thing would actually start to get real slow to turn around. Like I made a 5-block one, and back then it was really broken. The second you got out of it, it would just shoot up into the sky. It was pretty bad. And this camera mode, actually, you can just access yourself if you want to see the world like that. So you just press F3 to open the console, and you can just hit those. And there you go. Now your game looks like the backup camera. Which is actually a really cool way to just like look around the map, see what the game looks like right now, get a good feel for it. Obviously you can see the biome changes in certain areas, like up there. Oh, I'm hitting something. Look at that. That building will eventually become useful once on the mountain up there. But it's pretty cool. I don't want to show you too many secrets in the game, where things are revealed, but as you can see from the debris around here, you are not the first person here. Obviously some sort of accident happened, but we'll turn those back on so it looks normal. Another thing that I noticed about the game was the music is very close to the first game, and the reason I'm saying that is because the composer is different. So I felt like they did a pretty good job with trying to keep the music the same. There are some slight differences that you'll notice, and there's different music throughout different biomes. I'm just doing Windows because I'm on creative and I don't have to worry about structural integrity. So we'll go in here. Okay. Now let's see here. Let's build a toilet just for fun. So the toilet actually does work. I like that it flushes every time you close it. The burner's pretty cool. Gotta wash your hands. All that COVID, you know. The sink does work. Awesome. And the burner does work as well. You'd obviously put this on a surface, hopefully. That turns on. I think right now it's just aesthetic purposes. I'm hoping that the stove does become useful where you cook your fish on it and whatnot. But the cool thing about this room is you can build these walls that I kind of touched on, but we'll build some walls here. Oops. You can just hear the reactor resetting every time I build something. I want to say it did that in the first game too. Okay, so we got a full wall, and now we have a door. And there we go. If you want it to actually like be at the level, just take the dome off. That's one thing I'm not too happy about, is that the dome looks really silly when you try to put something else. Oh, that's another thing. So the aquarium is completely different in the large room. Let me show you what I mean here. Let's leave. So if you build an aquarium in here, oh, interesting. It's got a top too because of the containment. Take that off, it disappears. Oops. Maybe? Nope. Okay. I'm not gonna worry about it. Oh wow. I think I'm stuck. What? What's going on here? I can't move. There we go. Jeez. Getting a little scared. I actually did try recording a little bit earlier and the game bugged out real hard, so I had to stop. But as you can see, there's no there's nothing like below. Like there's a bunch of vegetation and stuff you can add in the other one. I wonder if there's a spot you can hit near. No. Let's come back and you look at the old one. Turn that off. So, yeah, in the old one, there's a spot where you can actually put plants and stuff, so you can grow things inside. It looks like the new one in the large room you cannot, which is kind of a bummer. I wonder if they'll update that. But you could just stack these buildings on top of each other and you could make like a ridiculously long or tall aquarium. So let's just do one of those if I can. Yeah, this is gonna look silly, but we're just here for showing the purpose of it. And again,
Welcome aboard, Captain.
you can see through it and all that. That was one thing I really liked. I actually did that in one of my bases. So I built an aquarium that was like 7 blocks high. And that was my elevator system through the building. That was super fun. That's a really cool way to play it. But I do miss the fact that there's nothing down here. Because if you were to build, say for example in the round one, you decided to put like a large plant, like the bioluminescent bulb plant thing, these things here. If you put one of those in like a really tall one, it will grow all the way to the ceiling. And that is actually pretty cool. I like that. They do have a lot of the same, it's all basically the same stuff currently. You've got your indoor potting plants, TV, your wall things. Oh, they have showers and fridges now. I didn't even see those. Yeah, it's all relatively the same stuff, but again, you're with Altera, it makes sense. The Snow Fox is pretty cool. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find one in time. Oh, I think I can fabricate the thing that spawns it. Let's check. Right, there's no door up here. Need a ladder. Come on, go down. What are you doing? There we go. Actually, leave this in here. Okay. I guess it'll just stay. Fabricator, let's see. Okay, so tools. Mineral detection. Yeah, a lot of these things I haven't messed with yet. I mean, these are all new things. The headlamp sounds like a really useful thing. Quantum locker. Storage solution, which there's... Ah, so it's like an ender chest for all of you who played Minecraft. So this is a cool thing. They have a spy pangolin now and the little penguins that are roaming around. There are spots in the game. You get up on the surface, there are these tiny little cave entrances, and you need a spy pangolin to actually access the cave. But I can't, like, last time I made one, I couldn't even get it to function. So, I don't know what to do with that. Let's see, will this actually... Nope, it won't. I was hoping it would let me spawn one. I'm sure you guys have seen the hovercraft. That's what the snow thing is. The snow fox. But yeah, those are the vehicles currently. You'll notice there are more fish in here than I had put. I don't know if it's a bug or if they are going to purposely do that, but currently if you swim past, or if you drive past fishes with the aquarium, if they run into the aquarium space, they'll clip into it. Like you see how they're swimming in and out of it. But if you actually go in there and you click on the space inside of it, like this. Oh, wow. Okay, I don't know what... Oh, what just happened? Did I just break my game? No, okay. Yeah, you'll see that there's a bunch of fish in here I didn't put in here.